Welcome to the channel. I'm the Swedish dividend investor. It's that time of the month where I go through each of my dividend payments, and let me tell you guys, this month was huge. So make sure to stick around. In total, I received 19 payments in May. If you're new here, we talk about dividend stocks and ETF, and we do valuations with a sweet Swedish accent. So if that sounds like something you're into, hit subscribe, like the damn video, and make sure to drop a comment. Let's go, guys. We can see my portfolio value here. So almost touching 124k, and we can see I currently outperform the larger indexes. Let's go through my payments. So for my first week, which was basically just the weekend, I received 3 payments. First out is Altria Group. I've said it before and I will say it again. I love my SIN stocks. Now, Altria usually pays in April, but since the payment process takes a few days, I get paid in May. My 82 shares each paid me $1.02, so $83.64. I had to pay a 15% withholding tax of $12.55, netting me $71.09. I wish the SIN stocks I own could be cheaper. Now, from a tobacco giant to a business development company. Pennant Park floating rate. This one is doing pretty okay, I guess. I haven't owned them for long, but the dividend over 10% is very nice and the monthly payments do add up. I have 120 shares, each paying me $0.1025, so $12.3. Subtracting the tax of 1.85, we land at $10.45. From one high yielder to another. Verizon. It's funny, I sometimes forget I have Verizon in my portfolio. Just one of those holdings where they just chug along and kick out some sweet income. My 41 shares each pay $0.6775, so a total of roughly $27.78. The withholding tax was $4.17, and we arrive at $23.61. Adding up the first week, we get a total of $105.15. For the second week, I got 5 payments. First out is my tiny position in JEPI. Hold on to something here. I don't pay tax on any of my dividend ETFs. So my 36 shares each paid $0.103, landing me at a whopping $3.71. Wow, I'm just kidding. Every position in my portfolio has its place. Someday, at a better price and track record, I will add to this position. Time for a brother from the same mother. JEPQ. Also not my biggest position, yet. My 36 shares each paid $0.2086, so a bit bigger dividend than its brother. Summing it up, $7.51. Now for the bigger and older brother, JEPG. I have been adding to this position as of lately. I've explained before, but I liked the underlying assets more in this ETF. It's not so tech heavy. Anyway, my then 160 shares each paid $0.1789. So with some quick math, that equates to $28.62. Planning what to buy at a reasonable price is hard, but I want to make this position quite big, at least 10k invested. Now, let's move away from ETFs for a while and talk about some spicy dividends. Amsterdam Commodities. Get it? Since they sell spices. Yeah, I know, that was terrible. My 151 shares each paid €0.85, so 128.35 euros in total. And we removed the 15% tax of 19.25, and we get 109.1 euros. Let's convert that to dollars. We get $123.23. From spices, nuts and seed to something we can't live without. Vårenergi. Ah yes, a super high dividend payer in the energy sector. I did add some more here recently. I had to do it since they were so cheap. Now, this involves 3 currencies, and to not fill the entire screen with numbers, I'll just do like the last company and convert it from Norwegian crowns to dollars. My then 662 shares each paid 1.245 crowns, so 824.19, and the withholding tax of 25% was 206.05, so 618.40 Norwegian crowns in total. Let's convert that to dollars, and we get $60.78. So that wraps up the second week. Adding it up, we land at $223.85. And for the monthly total so far, we're at $329. For the third week, we have 4 payments. First out is Montrose Global Monthly Dividend. Now, this ETF is a double-edged sword. They aim for a 0.5% dividend each month instead of paying out the dividends from the holdings plus the premiums of the covered call. So it's 0.5% of the price of the ETF. That's good when it's trading higher, but it's bad when it trades lower. Anyway, my 309 shares each paid 0.395 Swedish crowns, so 122.05 Swedish crowns. And converting it, we land at $12.68. It's time for another sin stock. British American Tobacco. Ah yes, BTI, one of my biggest dividend payers. My 143 shares each paid $0.802. That's roughly $114.69 and no taxes. Thank you very much. Next up is my favorite ETF. Exact Nordic, high dividend, low volatility. I actually got to stock up on this one during the panic sell after the Liberation Day. My 590 shares each paid 1.87 Swedish crowns, and that's 1,103.3 Swedish crowns. Let's convert it and we get $114.61 and no taxes. The last payment for this week is from a pretty popular real estate company, Realty Income Corp. I don't have much to add here. It's just a favorite company of mine. My 111 shares each paid me $0.2685. That's $29.8. The withholding tax was 4.47, making the net payout $25.33. Summing up the week, we land at $267.31, and the total for the month so far is $596.31. For the fourth week, I received 6 payments. First out is Evolution, a new position this year. Sadly, this one and the next one only pay dividends once per year. My 57 shares each paid 30.51 Swedish crowns, so 1,739.16 Swedish crowns in total. Converting it to freedom units, we land at $180.22. Cool. Let's move over to another type of sin stock. Kopparbergs. Ah yes, nothing beats an ice cold cider. Well, beer does. And they have some beer brands as well. Like I said before, they only pay once per year, so my 400 shares each paid me 7.5 Swedish crowns. That amounts to exactly 3,000 Swedish crowns. And in freedom units, $310.88. I forgot to tell you new guys here. I don't pay any taxes on my dividends from Swedish companies. Now, from alcohol to telecom, let's move on to Tele2, a Swedish telecom giant. They pay twice per year. I have 430 shares and they each pay 3.2 Swedish crowns, netting 1,376 crowns. And after converting it, we are looking at $142.59. Coming up is 2 monthly paying ETFs. Global X S&P 500 covered call ETF. Both this one and the next one is actually sailing up as favorite of mine. They have performed just like I wanted to. My 129 shares each paid $0.14, and since it's in dollars and no taxes, we land at $18.06. Next up is the brother to this ETF. Global X Nasdaq 100 covered call ETF. I actually bought some more of this and the S&P 500 variant this week. But my then 117 shares each paid $0.15. So it's like the last one, no conversion. We land at $17.55. Time for the last dividend payment for this month. Aker BP. I'm a bit sad they are still trading so high, even with the suppressed oil price. But I'm a happy owner. Like Vår Energi, I'm going to convert from Norwegian crowns to dollars. So my 103 shares each paid 6.52 Norwegian crowns. So that's 671.28. And we remove the 25% tax of 167.82. And we get 503.46 crowns. And in dollar, that's 49.50. So let's add it all up. The fourth week total was $718.8. Before adding it to the monthly total, we have to go through my last payment, and that is interest from my savings account. 112 Swedish crowns and 30% tax. That's 78.4 crowns. And in dollars, that's 8.12. Now, if you have watched my channel from the start, you might have catched that my savings account was larger just a month or two ago. I did not spend or invest it. I lent some money to a family member, so they wouldn't have to pay high interest to the bank. Alright, with the last payment, my monthly total adds up to a record high of $1,323.23. That is pretty awesome. Let's compare that to the year prior. So, here in my spreadsheet, we can see the last year's May dividends was sitting at 9,204.24 Swedish crowns. That's $953.8 at today's rate. Compared to this year, that's an increase of 38.73%. I'm pretty happy with that. Now for the next month, that is usually a pretty crappy month for me. But since I added a stock last fall, plus my ETFs and my increased holding in Cibus, I think the month of June could be very interesting this year, so don't miss the next update. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. I'm the Swedish Dividend Investor, and I will see you in the next one. Stay smart, stay patient, and keep stacking those dividends. Ha det gött!